Hey fam, hey fam, hey fam, hey fam. How you loving, how you loving, how you loving? Welcome to A Course in Miracles, the text. And I believe this is day 13. Day 14. It looks like this is day 14. And A Course in Miracles, we're here every day for discussion of the text. So in 2022, we took on this huge commitment of doing A Course in Miracles every day, the lessons. And now here we are doing A Course in Miracles every day, the text. This time we're doing the text at 4 p.m. Eastern time in the afternoons, and we do it Monday through Friday when we're in town. So for the times that we are not in town, when we're on retreat, when we're traveling around the globe, we don't have it. So what we do is we have a schedule going for you at valerielove.com/ACIM. So I'm going to drop that in the chat right now so that if you ever come on to ACIM or you're expecting or you're looking for us at 4 p.m. and you're wondering, where's the fam? You can always go to valerielove.com/ACIM. And that's when you're going to see the schedule. That's where you're going to see if we are away. That's where you're going to see what's happening. Let's breathe. Deep breath. Deep breath. A deep breath and center in source within the one life that is the true life, the real source of all. Some call this God, the all, the infinite, the one, the true, the beautiful. Wankantanka, Allah, Jehovah, Yah, Yahweh. And yet we know this one is beyond all name. And being still in this one, we find ourselves completely at peace, joy spontaneously bubbling, bliss, health and wholeness, energy and aliveness are our natural state. At one moment, kindness and compassion naturally unfold when we are at home in the one. And now praying from the one to the one in the one, this word is a word for love. We know, Source, that our words become the house we live in. We know that our energy becomes the manifestations that appear before us. We know that what we send out is a boomerang. And so knowing law and the workings of the universe, we choose wisely to be that which we desire to see, to be it now. And that is what we shall see and experience. We give thanks that we are always in complete mastery and at choice of what we shall be. That is our domain. We pray to choose wisely. We offer these words to the universe of life, knowing that they are like the precipitation of this third dimension. It goes forth and bears fruit. We give extreme thanks and we seal this prayer by all the holy names of all the ones called upon all over the world. That is the ultimate one. Amen. Ashe. Hotel. Welcome, family. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, tomorrow tomorrow is a big day. Tomorrow is Witchy Wednesday. And we have a new guest that's going to be coming on the Christian Witches podcast tomorrow. And next week, we have another guest on the Christian Witches podcast too. Tomorrow, we're going to have a guest on the Christian Witches podcast, a guest that I love so much. His name is Daniel. And he is one of my favorite Christian mystics, Christian witches, Christian magicians, Christian sorcerers on TikTok. And stay tuned for tomorrow because we are going to be having that discussion live on the Christian Witches YouTube, the Christian Witches Facebook, and snippets of it will be put on the Christian Witches TikTok. And OMG, you're gonna love him. You're gonna love him. Daniel, what a fountain of wisdom. He also has a background as a druid. So I'm really looking forward to this delicious conversation with Daniel. I think it's 11 a.m. Eastern time, Danelzia, but watch the channels. If you're not subscribed to the Christian Witches channel, it's blowing up. And the conversation that we had last Wednesday on I'm having a crisis of faith over this book, that you can watch that episode on the Christian Witches YouTube channel. Far more views than the same video on the Valerie Love YouTube channel. So it's all good. Wherever people choose to watch the message, I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm happy that we're all here together for the message. And the message is let go of religiosity. I was talking to a couple of light workers, people that are, in the healing arts, people that are energy healers, practitioners, and we all are feeling the same impulse from spirit. Upper realms is all about people letting go of religiosity, dogma, and doctrine. They're all about that now. They are all about us ascending, letting go of cutting loose of all of those restrictive beliefs, all of the paradigms that are limiting, the paradigms that aren't even rooted in truth. Upper realms, the angels, ascended masters, the witch, the archetypes, the Christ, all of spirit realms, the angels, it's like a draw. It's like a bigger than I've ever felt before. There's this big draw, like, come out of that, come up. And if you feel that, you're like a rubber band and you don't want to let go, and upper realms is pulling you, that's going to be a snap. If you let go, you're just going to go right up. So make your choice, and make your choice wisely, because upper realms is not having anyone on planet Earth. You can't even be peaceful now if you are still deeply rooted in the structures of yesterday that are falling away. If you're not pressing into learning more, growing, researching, seeking deeper understanding, wisdom, you are going to have a hard time on planet Earth in 2024. You are going to have a hard time. But thankfully, that's probably no one that I'm talking to right now. Yes, share that with people that you know. Share it with your friends. Share it with your family. Encourage them to see things a little differently. Not preaching. We encourage by our presence, because our presence is love. Our presence is freedom. Our presence is peace. And that begins to move people energetically out of their stuck paradigms. A lot of people on the planet are still stuck in paradigms. That's why we have what we have going on right now in the Middle East. People are still stuck in the paradigms. They think this patch of land is more valuable than ever. They need this patch of land, this particular patch of land. And they're willing to kill people over, I have to have this patch of land. Upper realms is over that. So some big stuff is going to happen in 2024 with all of this old religious paradigms that are not rooted in truth. None of the stuff that's going on in the Middle East is rooted in truth. None of it. So we get to be the peace keepers, the peace holders. We get to be the light bearers, the torch bringers, the teachers, the way showers, the spiritual leaders on the planet to lead humanity into peace. The truth will set you free. These old dogmas, they've had their day. They've had their day. Okay? Whatever you're sitting on, I love the way it looks on camera. Yay! I was trying this new setup, Harmony. Thank you for that. I was trying this new setup. I was like, what would it be like if I elevated? So I'm doing a stool now. What would it be like if I elevated and did like a different set? Same set, different setup. Because normally I sit in that chair, this one right here. Normally I'm lower and I'm sitting in this chair, and my stand for the computer and everything and lighting is lower. And I said, what would happen? That spirit just elevating us, right? What would happen if I came up? It looks like a professional studio. That's what I was going for. A witch and her wily intentions. It's working. Oh, that's so funny. Love it. Taya in the YouTube house today. Look at that, Delzia. Courtney says, looks great. Oh, I'm so glad. I did it yesterday, and here's why I did it yesterday. I'm gonna give y'all the honest, because I have to tell you the truth. This is a little bit more vulnerability, probably a TMI violation. Too much information is probably more than what you even really want to know, because you tuned in for Christian Witches, you tuned in for ACIM. But I will tell you this little piece. The reason that I did it yesterday was because I had on this cute top. How do I catch up with classes? I'm new here. Oh, yay! Welcome, welcome, welcome. Everybody, welcome, Deja. Welcome. And what you do is you go on this channel, on the Valerie Love YouTube channel, and you go back to day 1. We're now on day 14. And you can catch up. Welcome. We're so glad you're here. And to all our new people that are here, welcome. We're so glad you're here. So yesterday, family, let me tell you why I changed it yesterday. I was like, oh, I got to do something about this. I have released, I don't know how many pounds, because I don't have a scale. I don't weigh myself because I think it's a false number for me. Now, if it works for you, great. I'm talking about for me, scales always had me kind of, well, what does that mean? I don't know. And sometimes I'm in other countries and I weigh myself and I'm like, so and so kilograms. And I'm like, okay. Like the information wasn't completely useful to me. Like other things like body mass index and where your stuff is and measurements like your waist, those are more helpful metrics. I have never really found weight just by itself to be a good metric, because pound is muscle is heavier than fat. So if I went from being fatter to being more muscly, I probably lost fat, gained muscle, and maybe the scale went up. And now I'm frustrated because I think it's not working when it is. So I have never found pounds or kilograms by itself to be as helpful a metric as I desire as I am creating the body of my dreams. Well, so I don't have a scale. I don't know how many pounds I've lost. I've lost a lot of pounds because, or let me not say lost, because when you lose something, sometimes you find it again. I've released the pounds to the universe, the fat to the universe. I was too fat, y'all. And I'm using the word fat for myself on purpose. I was too fat. And I'm going to tell y'all how I realized that I was too fat. Okay, so I've been fasting now. I took on a fasting lifestyle. I've always fasted here and there. Y'all know I did the 40-day grape fast. I used to always do the master cleanse fast. I've done all kinds of fasts over the years. So I've always been a fasting kind of person. I took the fasting to a whole new level. I was like, okay, we're going to do intermittent fasting. We're going to do the alternate day fasting. We're going to do all of the things, all the fastings, we're going to do it. Right? Because for a couple of reasons. One is to reshape my body. I wanted to completely have a body of my dreams. So I'm creating that. And second is because I wanted to clean up my metabolic health, because I could tell intuitively that my body wanted to have a cleanup. Metabolic health is critical, family. It's critical to clean up your metabolic health. If you don't know what I'm talking about, and if you don't know about fasting and all that, get into the Wealth and Wellness Vortex Facebook group, where I teach you, I talk about fasting. The videos are in there, and I talk about it because you've got to clean up your metabolic health so that you don't have a concern with the 3 biggest killers on the planet, which is heart disease, diabetes, and cancer. These are the 3 big ones, and all of them are metabolic. All of them are metabolic. All of them are within the realm. I'm talking to you now as a healer, a plant healer, a natural healer, a wellness coach, a holistic coach. You clean up every area of your life, including your body, right? All of them are preventable. I won't say every cancer is preventable. Probably a lot of them are. And diabetes, definitely preventable. High blood pressure, definitely preventable. Heart disease, definitely preventable. And you don't want to concern yourself with when they say, oh, but it runs in your family and it's a genetic da da da. No, no, no. Because your body is telling which genes to turn on and turn off. So just because there's a gene present for something doesn't mean it has to flip on. And if it does flip on, you can make your body flip it off. So don't believe all the genetic stuff that they say. That is, you are the master. And you are never not in the master seat. Never. So your genes don't come in and boot you out the master seat and say, I'm the boss of you now. You have to be set because your mama and your grandmama and your granddaddy. No, if it runs in the family, let it run on past you. So I knew that I had to address my metabolic health because I desire to live a very long time on this planet, see my great-great-grandchildren and all of that. I love it. And I desire to do that in a healthy, active, sane, with my wits about me, and still happy and energetic and sexy and alive and vibrant and flexible and all of that. So I've been fasting. Well, the effects are really starting to show in the body of what I've been doing over these months. And it was showing before, it's showing even more now, right? Of me being on my yoga mat in the morning, of the push-ups I do, of the, the belly work that I do to strengthen the core, of the glutes bridges I do to get the booty up, all that stuff. Well, yesterday, I put on the top, and the top was too big for me. It was just too big for me, like a lot of my clothes now. And I said, okay, I need a belt. I went and grabbed the belt, put the belt on. I was like, oh, this is cute. And so I had to figure out some way that I could show that cute top with the belt on camera. And it wasn't going to be sitting in the regular chair that I was sitting on. I was like, okay, I have to reconfigure this because I'm cute and I want to show it. So that's the underlying reason as to why you have this new setup. Completely selfish. But then I was also saying, maybe this will be more inspirational. Maybe this will be more like a talk show. And then all the producers that have been talking to me over the years about a TV show, we actually activate the TV show. Because producers have been talking to me. I've talked to producer after producer after producer over years about a TV show. And so now, and I'm going to create it how Spirit has created for me. Okay, it's not going to be anything that anybody's ever seen before, and it's not going to be anything that they tell me. Don't let Hollywood and Netflix tell you how to do you, because you know how to do you, right? So that's what you have with the Taylor, that's what happens when you tell on yourself, right? I'm always telling on myself. They say confession is good for the soul, if not for the reputation. Let's get into ACIM today. You got Yalla vibes today. Yalla fix my life. Come on now. This is KAISI Inspires. Come on, KAISI is going to inspire you. I'm going to get that fire out. Come on, let's light that inner fire that you have, and let's get you moving and popping, pop a lop it. Papa, how do they say that? Papa. Let's get to ACIM because, okay, it's time to get to ACIM. Here we go. ACIM, here we go. Screen share. Danelzia, I love you. I hope I see you again soon, Danelzia. We miss you. We haven't seen you since the event in Cleveland. I wasn't at that event in Cleveland, but we're going to be in DC. I'm not in DC. We're going to be in Miami in December. So family, I got to tell you something, family. This winter solstice, oh my goodness. Wait a minute. Wait a second. There's one more thing I have to tell you before we go on screen share. This winter solstice, where we are initiating a new witch into the Temple of Ma'at, and we are doing plant medicine on the beach. The people that have registered for this event, first of all, several of them I have never met. And I always love that when we have brand new family members coming into the community and coming and stepping up. And this plant medicine on the beach, baby, we are going to get you so right for your 2024. If you have not yet registered for the winter solstice ritual and retreat, plant medicine on the beach, mystery school lessons, I'm taking you to 3 spots for magic procurement implements. And well, I don't want to tell you too much. 3 spots. I'm taking you to 3 spots that I go to in Miami. We're doing field trips. Oh my goodness. Set up the rituals. Oh my goodness. Ritual on the beach. Your 2024 is going to be spectacular after this because we're going to just get rid of all the stuff. And then after the winter solstice, we have the 5 burning nights coming up. That's going to be global. Baby. Come on now, Harmony. Y'all are about to go up in 2024. I cannot wait. Unlock me some higher levels in consciousness. Come on, family. I'm telling you. If you have some kind of issues that you have had for years and you can't get rid of it, if you've had some kind of something going on in your relationship life, if you don't know your purpose, if you're unclear on what you're supposed to be doing right now, the next phase of your life, the next steps that you're supposed to take, strategically mapping out your 2024, what's the vision? Baby, you gonna get all of that and more at the winter solstice. Don't you even worry your pretty little head. Okay, now we can go on screen share and get to, let's see where we are. We are on the text, chapter 1, the meaning of miracles, section 5, wholeness and spirit. And we concluded paragraph 1 and 2 the other day, paragraph 3 and 4. And now we are on paragraph 5. Okay, yesterday we talked about deprivation, we talked about abundance. And if you were not with us in that conversation, all good. That's why it's all recorded. All good. Go back and watch it. Go watch it. Now, paragraph 5. Whatever is true is eternal and cannot change or be changed. When people tell me that God gave them a download and then I inspire them and work with them to go for that download, and then when it gets a little challenging and they don't want to do it anymore, they say, well, I don't know. I don't think God told me to do this. Well, wait a minute. Because what's true is eternal. It doesn't change. God, I am the Lord. I do not change. That's what God said. God doesn't change God's mind. Whatever is true is eternal. It was true yesterday. It's going to be true tomorrow. It's not ever going to change. That's why we can stake our lives on love, on truth. So things don't change. We are the wishy-washy ones, the flippy-floppy ones. Not in judgment, simply in awareness. Oh, if I'm being flippy-floppy, wishy-washy, I need to change my behavior. Spirit is therefore unalterable, because it is already perfect. But the mind can elect what it chooses to serve. Spirit is unalterable. We cannot change spirit. Spirit does not change. What is true is eternal. It was true yesterday. It will be true forever. Yet here's the rub. Therein lies the rub. But the mind can elect what it chooses to serve. Ooh. The only limit put on its choice is that it cannot serve 2 masters. Okay. I have to pick one. If it elects to do so, the mind can become the medium by which spirit creates along the line of its own creation. If we allow, if we elect, if we choose, our mind can become a medium for spirit and to create perfection as spirit creates and created. If it does not freely elect to do so, it retains its creative potential, but places itself under tyrannous rather than authoritative control. Ooh, we will be under tyranny. I just love the words the Course uses, because the Course uses words that are not ambiguous. They are wholly unambiguous, so that we can understand exactly what's going on. What's going on is that if we choose to serve a master other than spirit, which would be the ego, we are under tyranny. Wow. Rather than authority. Authority is capital A. That's spirit, source, God. tyranny. Tyranny. As a result, it imprisons, because such are the dictates of tyrants. The ego is a petty tyrant, seeking to put your mind under the dictates of a tyrant and live in prison. And if you think that's extreme, ask yourself this: have I ever felt trapped? Have I ever felt stuck? Have I ever felt like I couldn't move forward? Have I ever felt like I was in a situation that I just couldn't get out of? Have I ever felt like I keep repeating the same things over and over again as things seem to be out of my control? Have I ever felt at a complete loss? Have I ever felt like I was in a dark night of the soul? Have I ever felt like I just can't figure out this thing called life? Have you ever felt that? How come I know all those so well? My hand is raised. Of course I've had that experience. Maybe you have. Those are the moments when my mind was choosing. I had made an election, like you go in a little voting booth and there's two checks: spirit or the tyrant, petty tyrant, the ego. In those moments, I had checked for the petty tyrant, the ego, and now I was stuck. You're never stuck, because you always have choice. That is the power of your choice. You can always choose. Again, I have told my children that over and over and over again. I continue to tell them that as they're adults. Don't ever stay in a situation. You're never stuck. You can always choose again. It doesn't matter if you made 50,000 wrong, quote unquote, wrong choices. You can't make a wrong choice. Choices that were unloving, choices that were under the petty tyrant, the ego, and now I'm in prison. You have the key to unlock yourself and take yourself out of the prison. To change your mind means to place it at the disposal of true authority. So when I change my mind and erase my election for the petty tyrant, the ego, and I place my vote for spirit, that means I'm putting myself at the disposal of true authority, a capital A authority, the creator of the universe. What we are saying here, what the Course is telling us here, is that this is no mere petty decision moment by moment. Which master will you choose? Will you choose spirit, or will you choose the petty tyrant, the ego? Now, spirit is also showing us a Christ, Yeshua ben Joseph, who is the one, Yeshua the Christ, who is the narrator here, the teacher here, the instructor in the Course in Miracles, our elder brother. Christ is saying that if you choose for spirit, you are now a channel for spirit. You are a medium by which spirit can work in the world. You are completely at one with your source. You are now in revelation, direct revelation, receiving direct personal information directly from source. You are in a whole, and now you are affecting miracles. You are affecting healing. You are catalyzing change and transformation on the planet. Oh, you are working the light. Or, we did a little check for the petty tyrant, the ego, and now we are in prison. Now, which one? And we must make the choices this blazingly clear, so that in the moments where I'm tipping and I'm about to fall over to the check mark for the ego side, that I remember, oh, I could be a medium of miracles right now, yet I'm choosing to still be mad at somebody because they did it wrong. Oh, now, you might say to yourself, well, who in their right mind would choose the petty tyrant of the ego over source, right? Because we know God is love, and not the God we were taught about in church. That's not the God of the universe. I talked already about the origins of Yahweh. He used to be a child of Baal. Baal and Asherah were the ultimate God goddess in the Sumerian experience. Well, actually, it was Sumerian. No, it was later than Sumerian, and more in the Canaanite. The Canaanite. Thank you for that correction, Spirit. Baal and Asherah or Ashira, they were like the mother, father, big honcho, mother god, father god, and they had kids. All the gods always have kids. You see this in all the pantheons: Egypt, Greece, Rome, everywhere, all over the world. The gods always have kids, and then the kids do things for the mother and father. Well, one of the kids was Yahweh, and Yahweh was a storm god, sort of like and he also was like a copper, like a god of metallurgy and of the storm. And over time, he got elevated and he got syncretized. Him and Baal got smushed together into one being. They kind of tried to take out Asherah. You can't take out the mother. There's wombs all over right now, still spitting out kids. You can't take the mother out of it. They tried. And it never worked, and it never will, because truth is eternal. So they mashed up Baal and Yahweh. And Baal was this wonderful father figure, old, with the long white beard, kind of what you get in the Old Testament. But he's angry too. So can you see they mashed up two gods? Because the storm god, the war god, who is Yahweh, with the bronze, not bronze, more like copper. Bronze as well, because they could make the weapons and fight, right? And so they wanted the fighting one with them when they went out to fight a war and vanquish their enemies and conquest new lands and all these things people like doing. When they're under the aegis of the petty tyrant ego, that's what they do. That's what it looks like. Well, this mashup gave you Yahweh. And Yahweh got translated, of course, into Jehovah and Jah, and then eventually got elevated to being the God of the whole world. This is not the God we're talking about at any day when you hear us talking about God on A Course in Miracles. We are not talking about Jehovah. We are not talking about Yahweh. We're not talking about Baal. We're not talking about any God that can be named. So to be clear, because we've had our heads filled with a lot of information that's inaccurate, and we want to do a purge. We want to have a enema of the mind. That's what we need. We need to purge the mind. So when we're talking about God and when we're talking about the source, we're talking about the all love, all wisdom, all knowing, powerful source that is beyond name, beyond form, beyond sex, beyond gender. It's not mother or father. That's how we call it, because that's the expression in this third dimension. And one of the 7 laws is the law of gender. God doesn't have a gender. God doesn't need a gender. God's not physical. God is not a person. It's a great, vast presence. This is how I experience it. You get to experience God however you experience it. No one's right, no one's wrong. Right? Now, when we say authority of God, we mean the authority of love, capital L love, the whole universe, the beauty and all that you are looking at when you look through a telescope and you see the constellations and oh my goodness, have you looked at the universe? It's just beautiful and ordered and magnificent and dynamic. And this star is doing this and that star is doing that. And the planets and wow. And the planets have like personalities and they're doing different things. Just amazing. So that's what I felt like, thank you, Spirit, that we required a clarification about the word God. God is not a person. It's not personal. It's an infinite beingness. The infinite beingness of love. It's not a person. And it has nothing about it that is a person. Okay, let's breathe. Let's pause here and let me ask the family in the clubhouse room, what are y'all hearing? Because I want to hear some feedback, because that was a lot, I feel. Was it a lot, Harmony? Can you give me some feedback? Because I don't really know what's happening on the other side of what I'm saying.
I I loved every minute of it. I was over here taking notes. One of the big things that I loved that you clarified was about not serving two masters. And when we think about, typically, when I've heard serving two masters, it's always been like God and the devil. And I know in spiritual community, we don't really subscribe to the devil. So I love how you put that as spirit or the ego. Like, that was huge for me. Thinking of two masters in that way, and how the ego messes us up so much, and it really is edging God out, and how it can take you to a level that you probably don't want to be. So thank you for that particular clarification. It was worth its weight in gold. Love that.
Good. Love it. Okay, now family. Okay, Sharifa. Sharifa says. Sharifa, the words that come out of my mouth are just funny sometimes. We need an enema of the mind. Yes, like just continually washing the mind. Just dump the stuff out of the mind. Now, family, here is why. Okay, and what does Cheryl say? We always have choice. We can always choose again. Yes. Isn't that the liberating, empowering knowing that, okay, peacefully you can say, okay, I made this mess. And you know what? I can choose again. Let me sit down. Let me set my intention. Let me go deep in and do the shadow work. Let me clear myself. Let me forgive. And let me come to a new understanding. I saw something today that I had posted on Facebook years ago on my Facebook stories. And I saw it again today. And here it is. Take a screenshot of this. No one, pardon me, let me go back again. Get it quick, because you know how these things move. No one in whom forgiveness lives, and no one in whom true forgiveness rests can suffer. Uh-oh. Come on, Facebook, help me out here. No one in whom true forgiveness rests can suffer. Ooh. You mean I literally could not suffer if forgiveness rests in me? You mean I would be impervious to suffering if I lived in forgiveness, if forgiveness rests in me? Love it. Keep flowing. Clarity like no other. I love it, Annette. I love it. Okay, so now here we go. And then we're going to do an exercise, family, until tomorrow and tell us what happened. Here we go. So you might say, KAISI, who in their right mind would go in the election booth and you see spirit, which is all love, all peace, all joy, all abundance, oneness with everyone, health, energy, wealth, abundance, all of it. It's everything, because God has given you everything. And then you see the ego on the other side, lack, limitation, strife, sickness, fighting with people, never enough, sick, and then you die and you think you're a body. Who would choose the ego? Like, it's clear, isn't it? It's clear, we would think, except it's not always clear. Here's what happens. Here's when we put a check mark for the ego. I walk in a store, somebody looks at me funny. I'm like, what they looking at? Boom, I just checked the ego box. Why? Because I'm not in love. Oh, they're looking at God. I'm not in love. I'm in otherness and separation. Hallmarks of the ego. I just checked the ego box. See, it just happened. It happened just like that. Okay, I come out the store. It was a nice meal, and I'm here talking to my boo, and my boo is on the phone a little too much. Well, who you talking to? And I feel jealousy and insecurity come up. Check box for the ego. I just checked the ego again. Oh, yes, I did. Yes, I did. I just checked it again. Because why? Because I'm not in love and trust. If I'm with this person and I love this person and they respect me and I respect him and we're having a beautiful love, respectful relationship, why don't I trust him? I should trust the people that I'm with if I have them in my close camp, especially if they're in my intimate space. I would hope that we only have people in our intimate space that we trust and that trust us. I could be in trust and peace, but instead I'm choosing to be in insecurity. Check box for the ego. Okay, later on that day. See, we're just making choices, checking the ego box, not even thinking, unaware, unconsciously checking the ego box. Okay, here's another one. Your kids do something crazy. You come in the house and the kids got the house all looking all the pieces, didn't wash the dishes, didn't do one thing you said. You gave them a list of 20 things to do. They didn't do one of them. And you came back early and the house is looking crazy. You lose it. Oh my goodness, look at y'all. Clean this house up. Why I gotta I'm out here working for y'all. I could be in peace. That would be checking the spirit box. But no, I'm in anger. I check the ego box. I'm in the petty tyrant box. And I'm going to be in prison. And I'm going to take other people to prison with me. Wow. Well, I'm going to prison of my own volition. I'm volunteering for prison. I want to go to prison now. Please put the handcuffs on me. Matter of fact, put them behind my back because I really want to feel like a victim. And I really don't want to be powerful in my life because it's just too much trouble. It's too much work to be responsible and powerful in my life. I don't want to figure all this shit out. I just want to be a victim and just chill. So put my hands behind me and I'm just going to lay here on the sofa and just waste away and watch Netflix. You know, something like that. Checking the ego box. Every time you think of an old lover, checking the ego box. Forgiveness. Why am I in suffering when I could be in forgiveness? See, forgiveness is on the spirit side. Forgiveness means I'm clear. Suffering, petty tyrant side. So do you see, family? Let's really look at ourselves. Oh, let's get searingly honest with ourselves. How about that? And say, how many times did I check the ego box today? So let's do an exercise. How about for the next 24 hours or 23 hours till you get back here tomorrow? Just look at how many times you checked the ego box. That you are now in a prison, headed for being under the control of a petty tyrant, the ego, or you can't get me. No, I'm going to forgive that. No, I'm going to stay in peace. I'm checking the spirit box. And you might say, yeah, KAISI, some of these things happen and I just pop off before I can even catch myself. It's beautiful. We have something for that. Sharifa, that ego be getting me. I'm telling you, it gets me. That's how do you think I know all these things so intimately? Before I know it, my mouth is up saying something. I'm like, oh damn, that wasn't on the spirit side. It's on the other side, right? It's just for awareness. That's all. We just want awareness, family, so that these things are not unconsciously repeated. That's all. We just want to wake up. Love simply wants us to wake up and be our true essential nature, be our true God self as best we can. And yeah, sometimes we'll fall over to the other side. If you fall over to the ego side 20 times in a day, tomorrow try to make it 15. The next day try to make it 10. The next day try to make it 5. That's all. You don't have to be perfect because there ain't no such thing. Just do the best you can. Do the best you can. Do your best. And when you see that you fell over to the ego side because you had a hateful thought, or you said a quick word that was like, wow, that was unloving, say, oh, you know what? I'm in an exercise with our Course in Miracles, with our whole global love family. And I just checked the ego box. Let me take that back. Let me take back the words I just said. I cancel them, cancel. And let me say a loving word to you and genuinely be loving. Genuinely put your face on this person's face and genuinely say something loving. Most love you can muster in that moment. If the most love you can muster in that moment is, I want to love you now, but it's real hard for me. I want to, though. I want to love you. And if that's the best you can do, because next time you'll be like, you know what? I want to love you. And I do feel that the love of God is present here, even though I want to go off. Like, you can tell the truth, it still come from love, which is really the only way to tell the truth is coming from love, because love and truth go together and truth is eternal. So everybody in for this exercise? We're just going to have an exercise. And we're not going to introduce any judgment into the exercise. Now we're going to go into our conversation on Clubhouse. And if you want to come into Clubhouse, on our Clubhouse room, and have our conversation, come on, hop on over to the Clubhouse room. How you get into the Clubhouse room is at valerielove.com/ACIM. Now, the last thing I want to say is this. For the holidays, since we have the holidays coming up next month, we have Hanukkah, we have Christmas, we have Kwanzaa, we have New Year, all of it. Beautiful, 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 beautiful holy days, right? We have Yule with our pagan family. Here is what I want to do. Raylon, I want to love you now. Sometimes that's the best I can do, because I'm not feeling love, and I'm not going to tell you I love you and I really don't, because that's a lie, and I know it's a lie, and they know it's a lie, and voila. Truth is the way. I want to love you. I want to reach for the highest octave, the highest frequency. So give me a moment. Go in the bathroom, have a PBG. What's a PBG? Pause, breathe, go within. Pause. Just pause the whole thing. Just press the pause button. Go in the bathroom, deep breath, 10 deep breaths. Go in the car, go outside, take a walk. Go in your own office, wherever you need to go. And just go within. PBG. Pause, breathe, go within. Go within is that you're in your heart space. You're home to source. Okay, now I'm back home. Now all I see is love. And all I am is love. And then we can bring ourselves back home. Okay, sometimes it's going to be more challenging to bring ourselves back home than other times, because sometimes my mind is going. My mind was trying to go this morning, and you know what I did? I started chanting, because I can outsmart my mind. And I have a strong mind, so I have to come strong with my mind. When I see my mind, it's like a horse galloping, or maybe like a freight train. Have you ever seen your mind taking off like a freight train? It's having arguments with people that are not even there. Have you ever seen yourself telling off people that are not even there? Now that looks like insanity. And the Course says the ego is insane. The ego is having that conversation. The ego is having a whole conversation with somebody that's not even there, and is probably somewhere having a beautiful time with their life. But I'm not at peace because this ego conversation is running in my mind. Well, why? So what I did, I started chanting. I went in first, I was on the vibration. Then I went to the granddaddy, Brizzy. Oh, after about 30 minutes or whatever, my mind was like, it was vibrating so high, and thought couldn't be found. And I was like, I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. Oh, I got the spiritual tools, and I'm not afraid to use them. I'm packing with spiritual tools. Okay, Amazon Influencers course will increase December 1st. You best to get in. Yeah, and we have a session that we have coming up this Thursday night with all our Amazon influencers. I love the stretch I'm seeing in our Amazon influencers. I love it. The ones that are in the Facebook groups, the ones that are in the group, the Facebook group. I love what we're seeing with the stretch. I love it. Can you spell Brazil? I want to look it up. Oh my goodness, Brazil. Oh, let me put that in the chat right now, because we have done this chant on some of our retreats. We do the chant for an hour. We could chant Brizzy. How long did we chant Brizzy while we were in Greece? Harmony, was it an hour? Our group chant in our circle?
Was it an hour? I thought it was 2. I know when I went to Sedona, we chanted for an hour, but I honestly think, I'm not even being funny, I think that we looked up and it was 2 hours later when we were in Greece.
Oh my God, like Brizzy with Dr. Pillai. Dr. Pillai taught me Brizzy. I went to India with Dr. Pillai. We'll be going to India again next year. When I was in India with Dr. Pillai, well, Dr. Pillai taught me Brizzy before we got to India. And Dr. Pillai does a lot of chanting with his community. Well, Dr. Palai told us that people have whole houses that they name Brazil. People have Brazil on their license tag because they chanted Brazil and got cars. Brazil has bought me cars, money, clients. Oh, you chant, you get up every morning at 5 a.m. and you chant Brazil for an hour? Pshoo. And what Dr. Palai told us is that the being, one of the sacred beings that bought humanity, the Brizzy, that exact resonance. You know, these words have resonance and vibration and harmonic in the universe that clicks doors. I'm seeing like tumblers unlock. Okay. They're openers. They're not just words. They open things in the universe. Well, Brazil is one of those, and especially for wealth, manifestation of physical things like a house, cars, money, clients that will bring you more money. It's more on that vibration, and and health too in the body temple. Brazil is such a high vibration. Dr. Palai said that the being who bought us Brazil meditated for 1,000 years to receive the sacred sound, Brazil, 1,000 years straight. Can you imagine meditating for 1,000 years straight? That's where Brazil came from. Okay, it is a profound sacred sound, profound. Okay, so we have our exercise. We're going to play with this exercise over the next 23 hours. We're going to come back tomorrow at 4 p.m. and everybody let us know how you did with which box you were checking, because for these next 23 hours, we're going to be more aware and awake and present in the moment to our actions, our words, our thoughts, our responses than we normally would be. For what? For self mastery, baby. To be the master of yourself. Yes. People who do not discipline themselves must be disciplined by outside forces. That's not fun. I love you. Peace. KAISI out.